Good morning. Time now is 11:04. Digital weather now. A little bit, I'm sure, of anticipation leading up to this because we are talking about the tropics. We now have our first hurricane of the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season. A steady, not necessarily rapid, but pretty quick, mind you, intensification of Beryl over the past 36 hours. I'm taking you back 36 hours here, all the way back to when it was just, classified a tropical depression, then quickly a storm. Now looking more intense, showing more intensification, I should say. And really, you see a massive cloud, showers and thunderstorms there. But I'm going to let you know where the actual hurricane is, and it's teeny tiny, almost a micro hurricane, one of these teeny tiny little things. And it is right. I'm actually going to have to, make my line a little bit smaller because the circle I draw would actually cover up almost the whole thing. It's just this teeny tiny little area of convection, showers and thunderstorms. So drawing this out for you, this is the hurricane. It's only a few miles, a few islands wide there on the windward island chain there. But zooming down in, the structure of Beryl, we're going to get to the latest update from the National Hurricane Center as of 11 a.m. Now 80 mile per hour sustained winds, 5 miles per hour higher than the previous morning update. Going to get to all the details in just a moment. But first, I do want to take you down a little bit closer, show you a more high-res image because more recently, and taking you back, 6 hours, little eyes popping out there right here. You can see that. So signs certainly of strengthening. Now, this is not a perfect system. There already is some wind shear. Notice how a lot of the whites, the bright white cloud tops, the very tall thunderstorm clouds, the strongest showers and storms on the southern half of this system. So there's already a little bit of wind shear, it looks like, impeding this and trying to wrap in a little bit of dry air into the system too. That's why we're kind of lacking those tall thunderstorm clouds on the north side of the system. But this is teeny tiny. This is a small little hurricane, and its size being small is actually one of the factors that has contributed to its strengthening so quickly. If this was a much larger system with a broad area of low pressure associated with it, it would have been much slower to develop. But because it is so tiny, it can wrap up very tightly and spin fastly. You just think about it like that, kind of like the ballerina with the arms extended, spins slower. You bring the arms in, the ice skater, I should say, or the ballerina will spin faster. And in this case, that's physics kind of playing out here to an extent as far as Hurricane Beryl is concerned. So a little bit sciencey there. Of course, if you have any questions, navigate over to my Facebook page, WTOC Cutter Martin. Be happy to answer those for you. Also, I will be going on the WTOC TV Facebook page here in just a moment, answering those questions coming in. But I may be able to answer them right here off the bat just by showing you all the data with Beryl. So here we are, Category 1. Latitude 10.7 degrees north, longitude 46.5 degrees west, sustained winds 80 miles per hour, so definitely a Cat 1 now. Pressure 994 millibars, down 1 millibar from earlier, so not a rapid drop in pressure. And remember, as the pressure drops, typically the wind increases, and only a 1 millibar drop, that's not too impressive. Speeding up, actually moving west at the time being at 15 miles per hour. They continue to update the strength forecast. Now forecast, we talked about this earlier, and I said this on my video that I posted on my Facebook page a little bit ago. Now forecast to be a Cat 2. We're going to have to see just how high this forecast keeps getting updated. Does it reach major hurricane status? I think it's unlikely, but certainly, can't be ruled out. It's 85 or 80 mile per hour sustained winds now. It strengthened very quickly, and it will continue to be over or in an area in the world that is favorable, at least to an extent, for further strengthening, for it to become stronger here over the next 24 to 30 hours or so. After that window, and notice here in the forecast, we're down to a tropical storm once again, once in the Caribbean, and bringing this out even further, a very weak tropical storm over Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic, because we're going to have a lot of wind shear that's going to cut the tops off of those thunderstorms, keep them shorter, aka weaker. Storms don't like that. There's a lot of dust from the Sahara out here and some mid-level dry air, so dry air above our heads. Storms do not like that. And this may go right over some of the tallest mountain peaks, I should say, in this area. Storms do not like that. This area has been known to shred major hurricanes, let alone, a tropical storm. So definitely something we will be watching here, and there are still no indications that this is going to have a direct impact on the U.S. Any, U.S. property or territory. Puerto Rico could be impacted by tropical storm conditions with its most updated forecast, but looking relatively minor, especially with its teeny tiny size, likely staying south of the island. But something they will be watching closely. I'm sure everyone in the Caribbean is watching closely. If you have cruise plans here, you need to keep an eye on it. Again, entering the Caribbean Sunday night and being shredded, hopefully and most likely, by Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic, by Tuesday morning, Monday night into Tuesday morning. So that is that. Also an update here. We have, and I may not have updated my graphics, so bear with me here. We have an area of low pressure off of the southeast coast that has a 70 to 80% chance of tropical development here. This is Invest 96L, a 70% chance of tropical development within the next 48 hours, an 80% chance this becomes Chris or tropical depression within the next 5 days off of the southeast coast. Now, I know you see it moving west-northwest at 8 miles per hour, but it's forecast to just kind of sit out here for a little while, and it's not heading in our general direction at this time for any extended period of time. We're not forecasting any direct impacts here locally, but it is going to sit out here, and let's talk about why. I'm going to turn off the observation data with that so we can get a better visual on this. So, see this line of rain up here, up in the New England, extending down into the mid-south? That's a cold front. And that's going to continue to sink southward into our neck of the woods. That's why we're increasing your weekend rain chances. And that's going to kind of stall out. And at the same time, we have a big old ridge of high pressure that I'm going to draw out for you to our east. The Bermuda High, it is something that is always there and kind of flexes its muscles every so often. Sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's weaker. And that is to our west at this time, to our east at this time. So it can't really necessarily go east. It can't go west. It's kind of blocked and sitting here, just kind of pinwheeling around like putting a floaty in a pool. And if you don't have the jets on in the pool, it just kind of sits and meanders around in the ocean. But finally, we're going to see early next week conditions change. It gets this picked up by the cold front or the trough of low pressure and sent out to sea and away from the United States. That is the forecast right now. All right, a lot of information thrown your way. WTOC 11 Twitter account, WTOC TV Facebook page. Go in there right now to answer any questions that you may have. And I know I may not get them all right now. If you have any further questions, not only do we provide information in a number of other places for you, and I'll show you those places in just a moment, but also you can go over to my Facebook page, WTOC Cutter Martin. Just type that in. I have a video that you can watch back there as well as this live feed after it's done. And if you have any questions, just ask them, and I do go back through pretty regularly, answer messages and comments and stuff like that. All right, looks like we have quite a few questions coming in, getting to the most recent ones. Gary, how many times can you say teeny tiny? Well, when it is that teeny tiny, Gary, you have to draw attention to it. Actually, one of the smaller hurricanes, of late. There certainly have been smaller in the past, but definitely interesting to watch it, and that's why it has strengthened so quickly. At least one of the factors that is. Let's see. Paul says, every year I say at this point, get your stuff ready. Yes, but neither of these systems are forecast to impact us. Want to let you know that right now. Neither of these systems, Invest 96L nor Hurricane Beryl, forecast to impact us. Of course, we are watching Invest 96L more closely because it is not too far offshore. And if it does become a named system, it could increase our wave heights a little bit and possibly increase the rip current risk, of course, during a prime time kind of beach vacation time here. So something we'll be watching in that realm, but not expecting any direct impacts. Hey to Eugene, hey Miranda, hey Malik, Linda, JQ, thank you for watching. Appreciate the viewership. Naomi says it's raining in Brunswick. We do have some showers out there today. I'll get to that in just a moment. Daniel saying, what? Yeah, we definitely We definitely are, heating up out there in the tropics, if you will. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to remain in a busy time period. It's just these two systems have to be tapping into, if you will, what little good there is out there, what little resources there are for storms to work with, and making the most out of them. So now we have Hurricane Beryl, first hurricane of the season, way off to our south and east, and we have Invest 96L just off of the U.S. coast. So we're watching it, but no direct impacts at this time. And it looks like we got all the main questions answered. I'm sure that I probably have missed some. Laura says, which way is it heading? Shall wait and see. We have a pretty good idea where Beryl is going to be heading, and it's going to remain to our south and east. And I have a track here for you. Through the Caribbean here for the next several days. Again, this track going out through Tuesday, and it's still nowhere near us. And going over, even if it survives as a tropical storm till this point, likely to get shredded by some of these islands up in here with tall mountain ranges, and moving off to the west-northwest from there on, and into conditions that are not that favorable for re-strengthening. So something, of course, we're never going to turn our back on. We should pay attention to, but I don't want anyone to panic. Certainly, and not worth a worry at this time, but a casual eye on any tropical system that is out there is always certainly a good way to go. Dorothy saying, I hope it fizzles out before it hits land. Me too. Of course, the Caribbean islands do not need any impacts either, and hope that they can get through this without any major problems, and I think that will probably be the case. So that is the update from in the tropics world. Now I'm going to get to what's going on in the weather world here locally today. Safe Touch Security First Alert Live Radar. We do have some showers out there. We've had showers out there all morning. Some folks posting some cool photos of a very tall little shower cloud, and actually it was off the coast technically earlier this morning, and we're still seeing some showers right now, really Glenn and McIntosh counties, moving out to the west, so moving further inland from the beaches. Brunswick seeing scattered downpours. Neither of these very big, or none of these I should say very big, but briefly heavy and gradually expanding inland. So Townsend, Georgia 57, 25, Georgia 110, heading up into Pierce-Brantley counties, Thalman, Nahunta, Jessup, Screven. You all will be seeing your increasing rain chance here within the next hour as that line, kind of that cluster of rain builds inland here. Also a little bit further to the north, down in coastal Bryan County, tracking a shower here southeast of Richmond Hill, moving west-northwest, kind of developing just there away from the river over the marshes, heading towards 95, but probably just north of 38, but south of the river there, and probably south of Richmond Hill. So I think Richmond Hill, that shower going to remain to your south. But as we go through our forecast model now, going to walk you through the rest of the afternoon. While that's loading up, going to refresh the WTOC TV Facebook page, answer any new questions that may have come in. I'm sure there's still some questions about the tropics. Hopefully we can get those answered. And let's see. Tessa, watching the Turks and Caicos. Feel free to watch them. I still think we're A-OK there for now as far as any major impacts or anything like that, but always good to keep an eye out. Emma, how is the outlook for Puerto Rico? They still haven't recovered from last September. Not expecting major impacts, even with it being a tropical storm. This is a very small circulation, so even if it passed just south of Puerto Rico, and we don't expect its size to really increase all that much, a lot of the impacts would remain offshore, but can't rule out some tropical storm conditions. Certainly worth keeping an eye on if you have travel plans there, if you know anyone working there or living there, that kind of deal. Hey, Frederica, thank you for watching. Laura, me as well. Hey, Barbara, thanks for watching. Kareem says, yeah, tropics are cranking up, surely. Let's see. Preston, don't bring that on us. You want off days, you take vacation. You don't need it from a tropical system. Laura says, I think it is going to sit out there and gain strength and say hello, Georgia and South Carolina. LOL, JK, hopefully. Laura, no, that's not the plan right now, and hopefully that remains the plan. Leslie, are we in the clear? We are watching Invest 96L. It is not out of the woods completely for us, but nothing to worry about as it looks to sit out there, and it may strengthen a little bit out there, become a tropical storm. That's a scenario, just one of a couple, and then be pushed out to sea without any direct impacts to Georgia, North South Carolina. That is one scenario right now, the most likely scenario, and we will be fine-tuning that forecast forecasts and looking at the data here over the next several days. And we just encourage you to do the same at this point. I mean, we supply you with all the data. You just have to check it so often, and then you're up to date. You're good to go. To today's forecast, no tropical impacts today. We do have a weak area of low pressure moving on shore, kind of Florida, Georgia line area. That is not tropical, but it is, continuing that onshore flow. And notice how the sea breeze lines up noon to 1, a couple showers, maybe a thunderstorm by 1 p.m. just inland from the beaches. Beaches by that point kind of in the clear. Can't rule out an isolated shower, but mostly dry. And going further into the afternoon, we'll continue to see this build inland to maybe Estill, Rincon, Hinesville, Jessup, Waycross. Far inland communities have a lower rain chance today. Douglas, Baxley, Vidalia, Statesboro. But you still may get a little bit of a shower today. There's a slight chance it may last 10 minutes. Don't expect any big-time thunderstorms that far inland, but definitely have a rain chance today. But the rain chances we've been talking about for the past few days, lower today compared to the past few days. And I think 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, we are going to begin to quiet things down. And certainly after sunset, we're quiet. But then late tonight, early tomorrow morning, we're watching rain showers developing up along I-20, and the most recent models fizzle them out, but they are going to be moving south. Of course, we are south of I-20, so they're going to try to move our direction overnight tonight into early tomorrow. Don't be too surprised if you wake up and there's an isolated thunder shower or two on Safe Touch Security First Alert Live radar. I don't think we're 0% chance of rain Saturday morning, but the greatest rain chance is Saturday afternoon. Here we are, noon, 1, 2 p.m., and we're seeing rain focus up to our north along a cold front, but also seeing some activity down here locally, more than what we're seeing today. So Saturday afternoon, a little wetter than today, and I think Sunday afternoon, wetter than Saturday afternoon, especially for the coastal empire. And you can kind of see that trend here. Even overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, we're still having some showers move on in, and it's kind of messy weather pattern. So it's not a washout of a weekend, but we are going to have continued rain chances through 11 a.m. Sunday, and then probably just after this is beyond the forecast model's length here, but going into Sunday afternoon, we would see activity pick up once again. Nilda, are we going to get some around our area? If you're talking about rain, yeah, we do have rain today in the forecast, scattered rain. Terry says it has rained some degree every day here in Jessup. Yeah, Terry, we've had that scattered stuff. Glad you've been cashing in, cooling off a little bit with the rain in the area. Felicia, thank you for watching up in Early Branch. Ashley, hey, in Statesboro. Danny, hey, Cutter, I'm flying home from Kansas City tomorrow to Atlanta. Will the hurricane affect anything in my flight plans, do you think? Flying home from Kansas City tomorrow to Atlanta? No, none whatsoever. Not anything tropical. Certainly nothing at all with Beryl. And not expecting any flight impacts from Invest 96L well offshore by a few hundred miles, actually more than that, probably 400 or so miles. Not expecting any impacts there to your flight, so that is certainly good news. But we are tracking showers and thunderstorms, the potential of that increasing heading into the weekend. A place where you can get updates about the tropics and the weekend rain chance. It is the WTOC weather app. And I want to show you where we're placing these videos here. Again, at the top of the weather app, we have a video. We're going to be doing another one because this information is a little old. This is from the 8 a.m. advisory, not the 11 a.m. The 11 a.m. Beryl is now a little bit stronger. So we will be updating that, but we're going to be putting these videos in the same place here over the next few days. Also, your hour-by-hour forecast live look at radar. You can see what's going on. Radar really important for your weekend plans. Those tropical videos more important for just general knowledge. So in case there are any changes, you will be the first to know. But again, time now 11:22. Do not expect any major changes. We are not worried about the tropics, but we're paying attention to the tropics. The entire First Alert Weather team going to be updating the forecast, creating a little bit of extra information just so it's easier for you to understand and to have in the palm of your hands and on your TV screens here over the next few days and really throughout the rest of hurricane season. So on that note, wishing you an awesome Friday afternoon. Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley is in the Weather Center and has an update at noon.